In today's episode, we're diving into how to declutter your closet. We'll look at how to wrangle in the overflow of clothes that are spilling out, and we're going to get to the point where you only have what you need in your closet for your current season of life. This is the first of 4 episodes about how to get your closet organized and keep it organized. I'm Tammy, your host. Welcome to the Home Organizing for Beginners podcast. In this podcast, you'll get tangible and simple instructions about home organizing, cleaning, and time management. Instructions that keep you, your family, and your current season of life at the core so that you can finally feel like you have it all under control. So, I have a question for you. Do you have clothes kind of all over the place? Maybe they're packed into your closet, they're on the floor, they're all over the shelves. Maybe they've spilled out of your closet, they're in your sleeping area, in your bedroom, they're draped over a chair, they're stacked on top of a dresser, maybe on a chest at the end of your bed. Is that kind of the picture that you are seeing and feeling? For me, the prospect of sifting through the mounds of clothing, oh my gosh, it was incredibly off-putting, and it really made me just ignore it for as long as possible. I just didn't know where to get started. I couldn't figure out how to start and finish all in one sitting. Like, how much time do I need to actually make this happen? And I really just left it be. I didn't want to get started and leave things laying around for weeks at a time because it felt like I would never go back to it. So then there was the thought of having to get rid of things that I wasn't ready to get rid of. You know, everything I was seeing at the time, and we still see this today, is minimalism, and that's fine. If you are ready to get rid of the things, that's great. But if you're not ready to get rid of them, I'm here to give you permission to keep those things. I do still have some of my pregnancy clothes because I have memories associated with them. Now, my youngest child is 15 years old, and I may keep these things forever. I have the cutest little onesie that none of my kids actually fit into. It was like a 3-month-old onesie, and my kids were all so big when they were born that they were in like 9-month little clothing. So anyhow, I still have that because I would hold it up on my belly, and my husband and I it was just such a nice memory. I also have my older sister's fur coat in the back of my closet. She took her own life when I was a junior in high school, and that's something that I may never part with either. I don't display it, I don't have it out anywhere, but I do periodically when I'm thinking about my sister, I go and I touch that coat because it makes me feel closer to her. Okay, so if you have stuff that you want to keep, whether it's sentimental or you're just maybe wanting to fit into it again someday, because I have some of those clothes as well, I want you to know that you can keep it. You don't have to get rid of it. So when you go into a project like this, knowing that you aren't going to have to get rid of everything or make these really, really difficult decisions where you sit with it and then you're like, oh, I really have no use for this. I'm just going to donate it or I'm just going to throw it away. Go into this project knowing that you don't have to make that level of a decision for every single item, okay? It just makes it feel easier and lighter to go ahead and get started. Okay, so I have 5 steps for you. We're going to go through each of these steps in a certain level of detail. I don't want to bog you down. I want you to be able to run with this and either declutter your whole entire side of the closet or a portion of your closet. Okay, so your first step and the true game changer is to create a decision strategy. So when you create a decision strategy before you even step foot into your closet to declutter it, you'll enable yourself to make these quick decisions and you're already confident in them. You're not having to rehash this decision over and over and over again with every single item. Okay, so step number 1, I'm going to give you the steps to create a decision strategy. Okay, so To create a decision strategy, you have to answer a series of questions. And this is where you go ahead and you give yourself some time to think about it, maybe on your drive to work or dropping the kids off or coming back from dropping them off because it'll be quiet in your car. So in this episode, I'm going to go through a series of questions to create your decision strategy that are specific to your closet. But I have a full list of questions so that you can create a decision strategy for organizing your entire home. This is within the Secrets to Lasting Home Organization. There are 8 strategies I teach you, and this is one of them. So creating a decision strategy for your entire home really is so helpful. To download this free PDF, and there's a mini course that goes along with it, go to www.homeorganizingforbeginners.com/free. So here we go. Questions that you are going to ask yourself specific to your closet decluttering. Number 1, assess your current mindset. Are you mentally prepared to part with clothes you aren't currently wearing? And again, it's okay if your answer is no, but understanding how you feel and what your mindset is right now before you even get started is going to prevent you from feeling like you have to get rid of things just to meet society's idea of decluttering. Okay, number 2, are you sentimental about clothing? If so, would you like to store the items in a bin? Do you want to display them somewhere? Do you want to be able to see them every day? Or are you just going to tuck them in the back of your closet? There's no wrong answer to this. This is where really keeping you at the core of your home organizing makes a difference, because only you can answer these questions on how you want to manage things within your own closet. So number 3, if clothes are too small or too big, are you going to keep them? If so, are you going to keep them hanging in your closet, or are you going to store them in a bin or on a shelf or in a box, maybe within your closet, but maybe in a different part of your home? And finally, the 4th question, when you donate something, where are you going to donate it to? Is there a local Goodwill? We have a St. Vincent de Paul close in our area where it's super easy to drop things off to donate. When you know where you're going to donate them, it becomes much easier to move them out of your house after you put them into that pile through this process. So your answer to these questions do need to be written down, and when you go to declutter your closet, you are going to have that list with you. Okay, so step number 1, create a decision strategy. Step number 2, you're going to take a look at your schedule and you're going to plan a day and a time to tackle this project. Now, here's just a little bit bonus item for you. If you cannot tackle your whole entire closet at one time, it's okay. Take a section of it and go through this decluttering process, because you're going to see that progress and you're going to build momentum. All right. Step number 3, prep the area. So I don't call it decluttering necessarily. I like to call it sorting, because that's the physical process that you are doing. You're picking up an item, you're taking it out of the closet, and you're deciding what to do with it. Are you going to keep it in the closet? Are you going to throw it away? Whatever. So you want to prep the area by setting up separate categories. All right. So in the program or the free download, The Secrets to Lasting Home Organization, in the mini course, I give you these signs for the different sort categories, and I'll go through those in step number 5. So once you prep the area and you have your signs up and boxes or piles or space, the next step, number 4, is to pick a starting point. When you step back and you look at your whole entire closet, it can feel very overwhelming. But if you pick a starting point that's just closest to the door, or, if you have things piled on the floor and you can't quite get to the shelves, then you should start on the floor. Just something logical, right? So step number 5, you are going to sort the items into their proper categories. And I'm going to give you what the categories are. And again, you can download these when you get the free course, The Secrets to Lasting Home Organization. So sort category keep. These are the things that you are going to keep in your closet. Move. You're going to set in a pile anything that's coming out of your closet that you want to move to another area of your home. Donate. You're going to set anything that you're ready to donate into a pile or a box. The same thing with sell. If you're going to sell something, you want to have that in a separate pile as well. And then this last one, this last sort category, it really helps keep you moving forward. It's a don't know category. You don't know what to do with it. Set it aside and move on. You can come back and make a decision later on if you need to. So here are the 5 steps again. Step number 1, create a decision strategy. Step number 2, plan a day and time to tackle this project. Step number 3, prep the area. Step number 4, pick a starting point. And step number 5, sort the items into their proper categories. While you still have some things to deal with after this process, once you complete all of these steps, you'll have left in your closet only what is working for you right now and in this season of life. So keep going, don't give up. I'm here to help you through every step of your home organizing journey. Join me next week as well when we keep working on getting your closet organized once and for all. That's what I have for you today. I hope this episode helps you work towards the peaceful home that you desire, and I pray that you feel seen, heard, cared for, and loved. I will see you back here next week.